How's it going, everybody? Part two of our series of Conquering America. Hold on 1 second. Let me load the game. I think this is where we got to September 10th, 1830. Right now we got 5 cities. So we'll pick back up on what we was building. Make sure I got my recording levels good. Looks like it. So here we go. Let's see. Let's review what we was doing in part one of the video. As you can see, we got Albuquerque, which we need to grow to 76,240. So we're not seeing any growth there. Also, we got to connect 22 rural business to our railroad network and connect 4 cities with a population of 48,000. So that'll be the first three things we try to do. I feel that these other things will take place naturally. So we've got a rail line that's running between Albuquerque. See trains moving out. Warehouse number 1 in Kingman. Now we got this rail line that's bringing in cattle from Chaplin Breeding, and then West Manor is grabbing logs and corn. As you can see, they're circling around, making that run. We got $65,000, so we need to be thinking about what we're going to do next. I think overall, the big picture's Los Angeles next. So we're going to go ahead and start building track towards Los Angeles. This will be our main line. We'll go ahead and we'll wait till we get enough money to finish that bridge out. Up here, as you see this train wheel, see a little star. That means we have the ability to research either something new for the railroad, a train itself, or making money off the railroad. So we've got a choice between a detonator, which provides additional safety for subsequent trains, increasing reliability. And underneath, you get an increase in reliability of your locomotives at 6%. Or we can apply it to the John Bull, which you have to have three new research points developed. So we'll go ahead and do this. And let's go and check and see how things are producing out at our warehouse. So we see a train going into Kingsman. Right now the warehouse has produced 72 meat, and we've received 24 loads of corn, so, and 40 cattle. So we've got to get some of this stock to some cities. So whoever's demanding meat really needs. Right there it is. They're making meat. So once we get Los Angeles, we can send meat to Los Angeles. We have 0 loads of grain for their bear factory there, so we need to work on that as well. Kingman's getting ready to be delivered some cattle and corn. So we're getting ready to add on to our rail line right here in a second. As soon as Kingman receives this load, another train's coming in behind, so that's going to be some money as well. Looks like a passenger plane with or train with mail. All right, let's go ahead and get that going. Now we gotta look at possibly trying to find the best route for this train. I think you just hit it on straight on. It's about the best you can do. Kingman's going to send back one load of meat to the warehouse. Here comes a load of cattle to the warehouse. And we got a load of corn waiting to be delivered. When this other train gets on the path, it'll move. And we've got a load of cattle and corn going to Albuquerque. So that'll be some more money. Now, one thing that we can do is take out a loan. And to speed the process of getting Los Angeles involved, I think I'll do that. So, let's go ahead and get a bond issued. We've got the choice between 100 weeks, which would be $328,000, 80 weeks, $205,000, and 60 weeks of $82,000. As you can see, the interest rate is a little high on the larger amount. So I'm going to go ahead and issue this bond for now because I really need the money to get things rolling. I normally don't do that. I like to try to not borrow money, but for this episode I'm going to go ahead and do that so we can get this path to Los Angeles on its way. Now, as you notice, the curvature of the land there, about the best option to run track is it's just off this embankment. Go ahead and just take a look at how we want to run. As you can see, the Los Angeles has a little bit of work to be done. We need to move the station.
A new station? Well, good luck with it.
So we'll get this track connected. And let's go ahead and run track back to Kingman so we have double rail. And as you can see, we don't have enough money, but after some trains make, we're starting to get money now. So once they deliver some rolling stock, then we should be able to go ahead and finish this line out to Kingman from Los Angeles. So it won't take too long. Here comes a train now from Kingman to Albuquerque. We'll ride in and let you enjoy the sights. And then we'll finish the line out, get a train going from Los Angeles to Kingman. and then the warehouse to Los Angeles, and then we'll get another one going from Los Angeles to Albuquerque, and then we'll start focusing in on our next move that we need to make. Quite a few passengers waiting to be picked up, I see. So let's go ahead and get ready. Now, let's go ahead and make, let's get this line so it knows which direction to run. Puts the signal out. And next thing gets a supply tower going. Or a train. I don't know which one I want to do first. I'll look at it real hard whenever get these signals out. There we go. Los Angeles is open for business. Let's just wait and see if we can. Here comes a train now coming in the Kingman. A load of cattle and corn. So hopefully we have enough money to get us a train going real fast. And then we'll do the supply tower next. Everything seems to be running pretty smooth right now. I don't think this will be enough to get us a rail line or a train going, but we are a lot closer. Let's see if we got anything coming our way to make it some more cash. There goes the train from Albuquerque to Kingman. And it'll be a few minutes. Let's ride, let's take a ride on this one till we get to Kingman. There's a train going to Albuquerque with a load of cattle, looks like. And here comes another cattle train coming into the warehouse. You know, ever since I was a little boy, I always wanted to ride trains. I watched on YouTube a lot of times. I watch some of these hobos or people that illegally jump on trains and record themselves. I wouldn't recommend doing that because you could get hurt or get arrested, but I just find it interesting that people do that stuff. Here's our train that was coming from Kingman back to the warehouse. It's got a load of meat and it's going to take back to the warehouse. Warehouse number 1 there. We'll get some more warehouses started shortly. And we're getting ready to roll into Kingman. So let's jump off here and get prepared to start a line from Los Angeles to Kingman. We'll get that started. I think our next move will be to get some wheat going into Los Angeles to really complete what we're trying to do here. And there's a couple wheat farms near our railroad that we can reach out to. Los Angeles going. Okay. Yeah, we got enough money. Plenty of money. We'll go ahead and make this one a passenger mail only. Put a stoker on there. This will help increase some business. So our next move will be to get from warehouse number 1 to Los Angeles. We'll take some meat there to Los Angeles and hopefully grab some beer to go back. Let's make sure we got beer, storage for beer. If not, looks like we don't. So we'll have to have a train that'll haul beer to either a new warehouse or distribute it to the cities themselves. So, but that'll be a little bit before that happens. We've got to get a train going from Albuquerque to Los Angeles next. I think that's the next move. So we get these rail lines going to those places. Kingman's starting to get a little busy, which is what we want. Here comes a cattle train coming in to deliver to the meat house. And then the train from Los Angeles to Kingman carrying pasture and mail will be rolling in here shortly too. There it is. So let's go ahead and prepare ourselves to get something going from Los Angeles. Well, from Albuquerque to Los Angeles. We'll do that first. That'll give us enough money to get that started. So the train's randomly broke down. May have to look into that. Let's go ahead and passenger and mail only. Not much is going, but that's okay. Let's see if these trains, if we got, yeah, we got supply tower. We need to put a supply tower in between Los Angeles and Kingman next. Let's put it, but we'll put it about right here in between, because that's going to be crucial to keep that train going from Los Angeles to Kingman. And after we do that, we're going to really take a long, hard look at what we need to plan next. There we go. We're going to have enough money now to be able to do what we need to do with this train in Los Angeles. We'll go ahead and try to fit that in there. Supply tower. Now, we're going to take a look at what we need to do next. We've got a wheat farm way up here that we could use. And that one's putting out 2.4 per week. And then there's another wheat farm that Los Angeles needs. It's further away, but it's closer to my rail line. And it puts out 2.4. So to me, it makes sense to build a line from here to there and get some wheat going to get grain going to get this beer factory up and running really good. So the question is do we want to take a loan out and buy this wheat before we start using it? For this purposes, we're going to do that. Another loan. Now let's go ahead and start an auction. Do you want to buy this business for $175,000? Yes. Okay, now let's make sure that nobody's going to jump in and try to outbid us. But that's very cheap for a grain farm, and we got
very good offer, actually. Why didn't I place a bid?
So we got the farm. Now we got to figure out how we're going to run track to this place. So what I'm going to first do is I'll run some track out along the coast here, because I know eventually I'm going to tie in to San Francisco. Okay. And since we're here at San Francisco, we'll go ahead see if we can get some more money and get a station built. And once we get this station built, we'll tie in, we'll build another station and get this grain going. So that's what we're looking at. Here comes us some more money. Los Angeles to Kingman. Our train from Albuquerque hasn't made it to Los Angeles yet, so that'll be here coming up shortly. Let's see where we can find that train. There it is. That one's going to Los Angeles. So we've got a train that's missing some supplies. Let's see if, yeah, we need to put a most definitely we need to put a supply tower here somewhere. I did not realize I didn't put that out earlier. And we need to do the same. No, there's the one there. So we're good there. So that's this locomotive that's broke down because it doesn't have enough supplies is holding up our Albuquerque to Kingman train. It's got passengers, so that's not good. I wish I'd have caught that earlier. But at least we caught it now. Here's our train that's going from Los Angeles to Kingman. Has a little less passengers on it, which is okay. As we can get $40,000, then we'll start working in San Francisco a little bit and get it going. As you see, our rail's getting a little bit busy. Things are starting, business starting to pick up. We've got warehouse number 1 to Albuquerque with corn and cattle. And you'll start seeing Albuquerque grow as soon as we get Los Angeles and San Francisco started sending supplies to Albuquerque. It'll start taking off a little bit. So it's not too far off. And that's what we want. Let's see if we got enough funds to put us a station in San Francisco. Because we're getting ready to get quite a bit of money coming up right now. $41,000. We'll go ahead and let's turn this this way, because that way we can run the station across the river there. We don't have to run it twice. And then we'll hook Los Angeles up, and we'll start something on it here soon. You really got to pay attention how you lay these depots out because of the track. And the reason why I turned that track the way I did is so I can line, when I expand this rail line here, I don't have to really I'll mess with the track a lot just to get the trains to run correctly. So we got that going. Next thing, we'll try to get a station going here, run it there, have a train that delivers to San Francisco and one that delivers to Los Angeles from that station. We'll have 2 trains going to these 2 different places with grain, and then we'll run San Francisco a passenger plane or train from San Francisco to Los Angeles, then one from San Francisco to Kingman, and San Francisco back to Albuquerque. And them will be passenger trains. Oh, I keep trying to say plane. Then we'll have some freight trains going from San Francisco to the warehouse and back, and then Los Angeles to the warehouse and back. So things are really speeding up. So let's go ahead and get us another station going here. There we go. And we'll wrap this one around. It'll cost us 48 grand. Right at 49 grand. But once we get some things going, things will start picking up dramatically. We've still got to run some line from San Francisco to Los Angeles and get trains running there. But it shouldn't be too awful long. As you can see, we've got Los Angeles to Kingman rolling in. It's going to give us some money. Get this grain going here soon. And what I'll probably do is I'm going to remove this and go ahead and add beer. That way we can maximize our warehouse. The cotton we can get somewhere else. Get a warehouse started on it shortly. We don't need it. So that only makes sense to do that. How to get some money. 40, right at 49 grand to get this rail line going. And what in the Wilson Manor, more than likely what I'd like to do is run about 3 to 4 trains to the warehouse. But for right now, we'll just run one because we don't have the ability to redirect trains until we get everything built up. So this is a work in progress. Got the line practically built. Here comes Kingman and Los Angeles rolling in. Let's get us some cash. There we go. We got some cash. Now we can start with our first train as soon as we get about 30 grand. Shouldn't take too awful long. Thing seems to slow down a bit, but this line's pretty busy. You can see there's 3 right there. 3 trains, 2 passenger trains right back to back. So, and then we got the train with the cattle going to Kingman. Got some cattle. Well, it's not cattle, probably corn. Yep. And more corn rolling into warehouse 1. Let's check how much. As you can see, they're already max capacity on the meat. So we gotta get some freight trains going from the warehouse out to Los Angeles and San Francisco, and that's about to happen. So that'll be a good thing once we can get them going. So probably the smart play is to go ahead and start a train from here to Los Angeles with meat. And then from Los Angeles to the grain farm. It'll be bareback, but that way we get some of this freed up here. As you can see, we got trains. It's don't have no cargo right now. And we want consistent cargo. We want consistent cargo going to our lines. That warehouse is staying really busy. And see, here comes a train from Kingman, the warehouse. It doesn't have no meat because they don't have no storage for it. So that's a waste of money right there. This one right here.
This darn technology throws a wrench in the works too often, doesn't it?
Well, he's gonna take cattle back, but he didn't bring no meat back for us. So it's not a good thing that we're not carrying something back to the warehouse to be delivered. The meat needs to be delivered, basically. And as soon as we can get enough funds, we're going to start doing it right now. And we're about to do it. So we're going to run Warehouse 1 down to Los Angeles. And then we're going to run that train to Wilson Manor, and then from Wilson Manor it'll take the wheat, and we have a rotation, and we'll have multiple trains doing this eventually. Let's go ahead and get him created. Serious quick. Let's see if I can line somebody up. So this train here is going to wait the tracks to be cleared, and then we'll see what it loads. I got some money coming in so we can work on our rail line to get some more trains running. Waiting for the track to clear, and it should start clearing soon. And there's the meat that's going to be delivered to Los Angeles. And we'll ride on that sucker. $60,000. Get some money built up. That way we can run our line between Los Angeles and San Francisco. And then San Francisco to the wheat farm. And we can really mass produce the trains after that. Heavy load. Watch how slow that locomotive is trying to get out of the warehouse. A lot of weight, but once it gets starting downhill, it'll be fine. We should meet at least 2 or 3 different trains coming from the west, and we're heading west. Excuse me. Another train just delivered some goods. So we're up to $72,000. By the time we get to Los Angeles, we should have enough money to finish our line out to San Francisco, at least I'm thinking. And we see another locomotive coming through in Kingman right now. That shouldn't delay us. Now, since we bought that wheat farm, what we'll do is we'll upgrade it. It'll become very, very busy. This line will become very busy as that wheat farm will supply it'll supply San Francisco and Los Angeles with goods it needs. Now, one thing I need to do with this train we're on is to connect the wheat farm to Los Angeles on the way back, so I'll be doing that next. And here comes a locomotive with very little cargo, it looks like. Let's see what they're carrying. Passenger train. Well, it's pretty big, so it's got a load on it. That was either going to Kingman or Albuquerque. Let's go ahead and connect. Well, it's going from Los Angeles to West Manor and then Warehouse back to Los Angeles. So, let's go ahead and there we go. And here it comes. It's coming in to deliver the meat, which that should be a really good load. See how much it delivers. We're up to over 100 grand, so I think we got enough money to connect the rest of the line to San Francisco, hopefully. See how much money we make off of this load of meat. $16,000, so that's not bad. Alright, let's go ahead and start connecting San Francisco. Now we can expand this station once I get some more cash, and that's what we'll do next. So we got our line set up. Should be able to expand San Francisco now. 60,000. So we're about there. There it is. And connect the rest of this line. And as soon as we can cross the tracks, we can run both ways. We'll do that as well. Now eventually we'll run up this valley along the river to connect this cotton farm. Circle back around. These bricks will come into play, the clay. And eventually we'll get Carson City and Winnemucca on our line. That's later on, so that'll be part of our line eventually. Circle back around. Albuquerque to Los Angeles. They got a big load. The warehouse is still pretty busy. Which we'll work on that and getting some of that freight out of the warehouse. And then there's the train from Albuquerque to Kingman rolling out. Alright, let's go ahead and work on this line. We've got plenty of money to do that now. multiple trains coming in and out of San Francisco. And then we'll put a supply station somewhere right here as soon as we get enough money. And we want a covered cab. Raises transportation by 3%. I'm not spending money on that. As we see, our train has entered Wilson Manor. First main delivery. We bought this grain farm, so we've not made any money on it at all. Profit a week is 820 total profit. It's 32,000 is all we've made on it so far. We bought it for 175, so we're in a hole right now. But business is about to pick up with it, so. And as soon as that one clears the tracks, we'll build us another train taking grain to San Francisco. And then the beer from San Francisco, we'll send it to the warehouse, and then we'll deliver meat back to San Francisco on the way back. So we'll get that going shortly as well. As business is about to pick up. And here we go. Hopefully we got enough to buy a train. Wilson Manor, San Francisco. Warehouse 1. And then it should bring meat back to San Francisco for us. There we go. We'll follow this train and see what happens. I got a minute and a half left. I'm gonna put this game on pause and pause the recording. As I got some laundry to take care of, and then I will do part 3. Here shortly. Okay, can we start another train? See how much grain we got. We've got some more loads, so let's go ahead. let's do this. Let's copy this train. And then we'll copy this one next. That gets 4 trains. Going from our wheat farm, so that should increase the profits dramatically. You can see we've already made 41,000 just in a short little bit. It'll increase dramatically. There was my alarm for me to go through the laundry into the dryer. So let's see here. See if I can pause this recording. May have to stop it. Alright, I'm gonna stop the... No, I can pause it. Okay, I'm back. Had to pause the game just a bit. Excuse me. As you can see, this train's waiting for the tracks to be cleared here in San Francisco, so let's go ahead and get a signal so we don't have to wait. When you put these signals, the train will go to the closest train, so as you can see, he's moving out. He's still sitting there, but he's waiting for this train to move out of the city. And we'll go ahead and put a couple of them down this line so it won't have to wait if there's any other trains coming in and out. That should help it move along a little closer without waiting any delay. I don't know why he's sitting there waiting. Weird. So he's waiting for Wilson. There he goes. He took off finally. This is waiting for that switch to be triggered. Let's see. We can probably expand this station if we wanted to, or we can run a line here up to Wilson Manor and just make it circle. Seeing that we've got trains going back, it's probably cheaper just to expand and run a double line there. And right there is our expansion. So it won't be too long whenever for us to run a double line here. 38,000, we'll have that here in a few minutes. Let's see, Wilson Manor's already up to 12 loads a week. So we can probably copy some more trains and then expand our farm here, which we should do that shortly. $38,000, we're getting close. Okay, now let's delete this signal. Reason why I want to do that is so we can cross the tracks right here. here at this other station. Now we need a supply tower. Not necessarily we need it, because we've got one right in between. Well, we ain't got one yet, but we're going to have one between Los Angeles and San Francisco shortly, so we'll probably need to put that out next. And we're about to get that. That way our trains can continuously run. I think our next move is to expand Wilson Manor a bit. Let's take a look at Albuquerque, because we've got enough stuff that should be running to Albuquerque to see some growth. As you see, Los Angeles is growing. Well, my athletes is a message of me. Sorry about that. So let's take a look. Got all those trains going out west. Kingman's not growing. Los Angeles is growing, which that's what we wanted. And Albuquerque hasn't started growing yet, but it should so shortly as we get stuff going to it. We do have Los Angeles growing.
Nice weather today, isn't it?
We need another train copied. Warehouse 1 in Los Angeles, so we'll make a copy of that one. And then we'll do one more from Wilson Manor to San Francisco. That should give us plenty of running that farm. I've got to cross up the track here. I forgot to do that. And let's trying to get this to delete this post here. For some reason it don't want to delete. it being difficult. Oh well, if it's not going to stop the train, then it ain't going to matter. So let's see what we've got here. And sometimes, you know, when you play this game, you forget the little things that makes a difference in how the trains operate. So I forgot to cross this track up right here, going into Los Angeles from San Francisco, and that would have stopped some trains coming going back from Los Angeles to San Francisco once I got those started. So, you know, little things like that can really mess you up if you're not careful. Now I can delete this one side. Okay, that one's gone. That's good. Need to delete this one right here. There we go. I got it to turn.
Where there's no competition, there's no battle. So I gladly bid you a warm welcome.
I had to turn it, but I don't know why it won't turn now. That's aggravating. I turned it and I couldn't turn it after that. There we go. Now let's see. Now I'll delete this and get this moved a little closer, and that should fix everything that I'm trying to do. As soon as that train clears this last signal, this one will take off. Now it should take off. There it goes. And put it. And let's put the last signal out. There we go. That should fix that. Let's check and see how much money we've made on this wheat farm since we've got all these trains going. And we made $65,000. Still in the hole, but we're getting $126 a week profit. So as soon as I can fully get trains running in and out here on a regular basis, then we'll see a profit being made. Let's go ahead and look at this. Okay. Let me look at the trains I've got going. Wilson Manor. bought a train and didn't have it set up on anything, so I'd run it to San Francisco. And maybe one more, and then that should be plenty. As that ranch should be really busy. But you see, we got 2 loads of beer, one from San Francisco, another one from San Francisco, going to the warehouse. Let's take a look at the warehouse. 81 cattle, 82 corn, 99. Still, it's got some deliveries to be made. But creating these freight trains should have helped a lot. So we'll see what happens. Especially when our beer gets there. What we got here? Corn and logs. You look at the route on that one. It's going to Wilson Manor, so we'll create another. That should do that. Alright, I think right now we might be at a good stopping place. In the next series, we're going to try to expand this a little bit. Our ultimate goal, let's go here and I'll show you, is to get to a population up to 76,000 in Albuquerque by 1834. We're in 1831. We've connected so far to 4 out of the 22 rural businesses that we needed to connect to. And we've got to connect 4 cities and get the population to 48,000, which we should do that. So, our next thing that I feel we need to do is expand here and start seeing Albuquerque grow. So, another thing that we can do to ensure that, now we just was able to get a John
Do you
Hancock.
think the thing is good enough?
So before we leave, we'll go ahead and start upgrading our trains. Get them going. So they'll be a little faster, about 3 miles per hour faster. The traction on is a little bit better. 14. It's 4 more. Well, 5 more %. It's a good time to upgrade while we got the money. We'll go ahead and start doing that, upgrading the trains. Another way to do that is to go right here and upgrade all trains. And I need, right there I got it all 18 of them. So every train's been upgraded right there. So we're good to go there. We should see more speed out of our trains, better traction for inclines. And I think we're going to stop for there for today. Let me go ahead and save the game. Create to save. Everybody have a good day. Part 3 will be next. Thank you.